Torian Wellman, back with Wellman Wellness Training, and of course our friends over at 4 Points Health and Wellness. It's always good to find variables with exercises that will ultimately translate to the physical activity that I choose to work in, such as sports, hiking, day-to-day activities, and we should more often than not be trying to find those set types of exercises that translate into how our body connects and integrates movement. This is where an exercise like this can come into play. What we're going to show you here is a glute band, and or you could use a cable system where you face a side profile. And what we're going to try to do is earn a longer lunge profile, a longer lunge position, loading the outside part of our glutes, and then work some form of rotational capacity that happens as we step from this set profile and explosively move into a standing position. This will translate a lot when I'm in sports and I need to change direction. This will translate a lot if I'm hiking and having to step up onto things where I get recruitment from the areas that I typically want, which is more of the glutes, the obliques, maybe some assistance from the quads and the calves, of course, as opposed to what typically happens to us when we have very poor posture, namely with our feet turning out, shoulder blades hinged forward, and then of course we're trying to get these types of goals or these types of translations in traditional exercises like squats and deadlifts. Newsflash, it doesn't always work. So what we want to do again is this type of variable. So in order to get into this set position, I would use a loop band at a lower profile or almost close to the ground. I could also use a cable system. We just simply don't have that here. What I'm going to do is create a long lunge pattern before I set up for this set movement. I'm trending my ankle joint, knee joint, and hip joint out to the side. From this set position, I will earn my long lunge by driving my chest closer towards my quad, and when I reach back for that foot, it's a longer lunge position, and I only find it with my toes. If I turn my foot off, it turns off the hip engagement. So of course, I'll just find it with my toe, and the goal here is, as I create a slight tension here, as I step off of this leg, I'm gonna simultaneously try to pull this around my body and almost earn what you see in that traditional external rotation. When you combine these elements together, and I can even rotate towards the anklet, what I start to do is teach my body how to ultimately load from one direction to the next and integrate the connective force from this said position, pulling this said sling system from my glutes, my shoulder blades, and more importantly my core, and creating that dynamic where I pin and rotate here as opposed to rotating out of my joints and getting the weird abrupt changes of direction. So again, this exercise is a lot more valuable than a traditional method or traditional way of going after things with squats and deadlifts, because of course I'm getting my rotational step, okay? I'm loading through, pulling around, and ultimately earning that ability to load my glutes, create some type of a pull pattern, and more importantly, rotate in my T-spine, where I should be garnering rotation, because that is what the T-spine is created for. Okay, so try this variation today. It can be very valuable for you, translating into actual physical activity. And if you want to find out some more for better exercises that will translate into actual movements and avoid injuries, of course, holler at me at Wellman Wellness Training.